Tomato. 12-year-old Zavid slices open a tomato. Halves tumble out of the core. In the seeded pulp, she discovers a message written in Arabic. There is only one God. Muhammad is the only messenger. Because it opens into silence, there is no mention of the knife. Was there a message before the opening of the fruit? When the parts are put back together, the incision of language disappears. The face of God, any unopened thing. The interior of God is language, indivisible and just this for all. But all has no entry. The knife is listening's divisions. Zaved's face reflected in the blade like the splotch of green where fruit fits to stem. Like fruit listening through the roots, a kind of opening. The book is a cultivation. Reading the book, Zaved's mind and heart are bathed in white light, bleak light, visionary light, the iconography of all desert religions forged from vast empty landscapes where a green lion or gold angel steps out of the sun. In the book, each letter scintillates. Seeds, grains of sand. The book closes like fruit, fit back to stem. The book falls open under the knife. Language tumbles open between God and messenger. Then the word is world's division. In parts, these seated hearts opened ruddy light. Ground apple, grain apple, love apple, eyes apple, Adam's apple between belly and mouth, word apple stuck, hovering between lovers. That word behold, holy world. From now on, all messages will be buried in common objects. But how will God ever speak through market fruits, car exhausts, tennis shoes, and neon tubes? Does the world or the book speak the language of God? Zaved says, "This fruit is the book. Let the names shepherd me through, each syllable answering questions that face me in the mute faces of things. Let words be the world's interior. The fault is my own hand, my own eyes and ears, ruins." God may be the lineaments of objects, not words, but world answering itself in silence. The flagstones Zaved walks, wondering what violence pressed into them that they would read as deeds, that they would read as places to walk in the world. The words a way to walk, or do the words walk away where I intersect tablet and cipher? The bruise in the fruit, a tear, a drop of blood, a shadow, mark of my own handling, wanting in under the skin, the stain and the sadness of this distance between. From now on, there will be no places in the world that do not bear a resemblance to your own face. Seeds shuttle life up and down the ladder of earth, not fruit, but a mirror held up to her face backed by her own hand. Desire interposes like a reflection. Hunger has this round shape of unopened fruit. Whosoever shall eat draws God into himself, but the knife divides God from messenger, as if to say, we have come too late, this fruit already fallen open in listening. He asks, where art thou, as if knowledge blinds, as if knowledge binds self back on self, handle binding hand to blade. The sulcated fruit and the sulk before sweetness, is there in fold anything but self amplified by its own inward turning? A fold is a desire to remain, falling back on the distance between it and self, fugitive depth in mirrors, nostalgia in photographs, the jettisoned folding inward. These errancies, too, mean you. Signatures. Bird, blues latitude. Horizon, blues boundary. Seed of this fruit, deed. New World tomatoes Bersian, Seeds disperse through bushes and trees. Birds pick up parts of place, shuffle geography, wanderings, miraculous errancies. In 615 A.D., there are no tomatoes in Mecca. A former shepherd and part-time caravan conductor receives direct word, mirroring hemispheres, one God, the only messenger. No direct word. God is gone from the earth, withdrawn from his own creation, redrawn as creation, but erased by suffering. We are erased by the touch of our own hands, the cannibal hand that opens and closes upon itself, hides in the fist of hate, enclosing the history of suffering. The hand writing multiplies its sorrow. The word is fugitive, the book a husk from which God is withdrawn. We are exterior to ourselves. 1,000 years later, tomatoes are introduced to the Old World and cultivated throughout Europe, Africa, and Asia. The Quran is mass-produced on the printing press. The garden oscillates between wilderness and civilization. Fondling market fruit, Zavid dreams back into the soil, asking, "Is this only the feel of my own hand?" What would the cross-section of mind and world reveal, each falling away in profile, each the other's darkness? She cannot bear her own profile, the word obscured by her finger, the shadow of her face falling across the book. From the book of Fallen Light, auburn, bay, blush, blood, burgundy, carbuncular, carnation, cherry, crimson, damask, flame, florid, maroon, murrey, pink, roan, rose, rubicund, ruby, ruddy, russet, sarkaline, scarlet. These are the ruins of a light we have never seen through an alphabet of broken colors, degrees of darkness, pitch blends of yellows and blues over a clock of light unmoved under the reader's eyes. There is no message. She is the message. The tomato bears news of what we have already known. There's nothing outside the fruit but our own faces, which in turn are interiors. Messages bound to the doorway, bound to the temple, bound to the tomb, bound to corners and outposts, bound to linchpin and hinge, bound to the threshold between the reader and the book. Love's apple for envoy, heart given back through the mouth, turning the spitted body over the fire. Forgive us for not having given ourselves. Eating, we would put our own hearts in our mouths. Speaking, we would pull our own hearts from our mouths. The fire is forgiveness. Turn the body inside out. There is no hole where halves tumble open and interpretation multiplies surface. It is a linguist's dream of a naturalized language. It is a tomato. It is a chromatologist's genealogy of light. It is a tomato. It is Zaved gazing at a clump of mold. It is Zaved gazing at the face of God. The world folds into itself like a green silence.